everyone, it's Carrie here, and thank you so much for joining me for another weekly dose of inspiration to build a successful business. So this week we are sharing a technique with you that you can use every single day to help you to build a successful business and to just live a really successful life. Now this technique is a little bit strange, but it's also really, really powerful and really brilliant, and it is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. And we are joined by the amazing Jessica Ortner, who is the producer of the breakthrough documentary, The Tapping Solution. She's also the host of the Tapping World Summit, which has attracted over 500,000 attendees, and she is the author of the fabulous book, The Tapping Solution for Weight Loss and Body Confidence. So Jessica, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi Carrie, thanks for having me.
So, before we go any further, can you explain to us a little bit more about EFT and what it is and how it can help people?
Right. Well, like you said, it does look a little strange, and the first time I learned about it, I actually thought someone was playing a joke on me when they told me to tap on the top of my head. But there is a lot of research around it, and it's really effective. So, I like to call it tapping, and I like to say it's like acupuncture, but luckily without the needles. So when you have an anxiety about, say, getting up on stage or doing something with your business, any aspect of your life, when we have an anxiety, we don't just feel it in our brain. This is not in our head. We feel it in our whole body. A lot of times we feel it in our chest and in our stomach. And what's happening is that our brain, we're thinking a thought that's creating this panic response in our body, and we get that anxiety. So what we do with the tapping is we get clear on the thought that's creating the anxiety as we begin to stimulate these meridian points. Now, these are points that we intuitively know help calm us down, because a lot of people go like this when they're stressed, put their hand over their chest. We intuitively know this. But this technique is really about stimulating these points while we think that stressful thought, so that it sends a calming signal to the brain from the body, letting the brain know that even though you have that thought, it's safe for you to relax. And it's really great for anyone that has any kind of panic or anxiety. And when you're running your own business, we all know that there is a lot of panic and anxiety that comes with that territory. And it's a really great tool to know and just have in your back pocket.
So how do you use EFT in your business to help you?
So, as you said, I started with making a documentary film about tapping, and it was a passion. Like many entrepreneurs, we start with the passion, and we don't really have the credibility at that point, or even the finances. And for me, I'd never made a film before. I teamed up with my brother. We had no outside funding. We put money on credit cards, and the whole experience constantly tested our own dreams. And, I know it might sound cliche, but we wouldn't have been able to make a really successful documentary if we didn't use tapping to deal with our own stress and anxiety, to give us the ability to take the next step. Because as an entrepreneur, we have to be innovative, we have to be resourceful, we have to be creative. And when we're panicked, our brain shuts down, and those are the three things that are impossible to do. The moment you're able to clear the anxiety, it's unbelievable the way the mind works. You begin to have better ideas. A lot of people say they get the best ideas in the shower because they're relaxed. And so tapping is a really great thing to incorporate when you're going for a dream and have your own business.
Yeah, that is so true. I was talking about this recently, about how in business I always feel so confused and stuck with everything, because I'm always pushing myself to do new things. And I think we all are, aren't we? We're all in that weird phase of pushing ourselves to do something we've never done, and it can push us to feel anxious about everything. So I just love this. I love this technique. So I thought it'd be really good to set everyone a 7-day challenge so that they can try EFT out for themselves and see the impacts that it'll have for them. So I was wondering whether you would be so kind to share or walk us through an exercise that we can all try for the next 7 days and hopefully forever, but something we can do each and every day to help us get into the routine of using EFT.
Absolutely. Well, let me teach you how to tap, and people can get more resources at thetappingsolution.com. I have a lot of free tapping meditations, but let me teach you how to tap, and then I'll set up the challenge.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds
good.
Good.
So when you tap, you start with saying the setup statement, which is on the side of the hand, and it doesn't matter what side of the body you tap on. And the setup statement is, even though, when you state the problem. So even though I'm nervous about speaking on stage, even though I'm anxious about this next opportunity, whatever it is, I accept how I feel. Now, Carrie, I know that many people hear this part and they go, you're getting weird on me. This is too woo-woo. Why would I want to accept something that I'm looking to move beyond? Well, the reality is that when we are, a lot of times we get angry and then we get angry about being angry, right? We begin to pile on the emotions. When we can just accept where we are, that's when we're able to really have a solid foundation to take a step forward. And so just saying, I accept how I feel, opens you up to this process. And like I said, this is the setup statement. This sets us up for the tapping process.
Okay.
Then for the rest of the tapping, you say how you feel. Like I said before, we have this anxiety in our head that's creating the physical response. We want to get very clear on what that thought is that's creating the response. So if you just said, I have low confidence, that doesn't really trigger people. That doesn't really trigger that response. It's a little bit too vague.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say something like, I'm terrified about forgetting my words,
yeah.
or I'm terrified about my face turning red, or whatever it is that you're nervous about, you state that problem, you say, I accept myself. Or it could be something that you feel in the moment. So even though I feel overwhelmed, I accept how I feel. Then you tap on the rest of the points while just giving a voice to how you feel. So, and I'll go through the points. The first point is the eyebrow point. So it's right where the hair of your eyebrow begins on the bone.
Okay.
And then if you follow the bone, you can, you'll find on the side of the eye. So it's not back here, it's just right here. Follow that bone again underneath the eye. And Carrie, why don't you do some tapping with me too? And everyone that's watching, find the points on their own body. So yeah, eyebrow, side of the eye, then underneath the eye, then underneath the nose, the chin, which is the crease between the lip and the chin. Yeah, perfect. The collarbone point. So if you feel that U shape right here, it's right under my necklace. If you go down an inch and over an inch, you'll hit it. You can tap like this or use your whole hand and just tap on your chest, and you'll stimulate it. Then underneath the arm, so this is about a hand width from your armpit. It's right where your bra strap is for women. It's called the sore spot. And then the last spot is the top of the head. And yes, this one does definitely look silly, but this is where a lot of meridian points meet up. It's a great place to end. So those are the tapping points.
Okay.
So let's just do one round about feeling overwhelmed.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So side of the hand, even though I feel completely overwhelmed.
So I say this too.
Yes, and everyone that's watching, say it as well. Even though if Carrie can do it, you can do it. Even though I feel completely overwhelmed.
Even though I feel completely overwhelmed.
I accept how I feel.
I accept how I feel.
Now, if you're tapping by yourself, you want to say that 3 times, but just for time, we'll go right to the tapping. So you just give a voice, eyebrow. I feel overwhelmed.
I feel overwhelmed.
Side of the eye. This pressure in my chest.
This pressure in my chest.
The eye. I have so much to do.
I have so much to do.
The nose, and not enough time.
And not enough time.
Chin, so I feel this panic.
So I feel this panic.
Collarbone, and I feel it in my body.
And I feel it in my body.
Under the arm, feeling overwhelmed.
Feeling overwhelmed.
Over the head, all of this pressure.
All of this pressure.
Take a deep breath in. Now, that is one round, but what you really want to do is give yourself just 5 minutes to tap through a few rounds. And if you're really stuck on the words, you can pretend that you're talking to a girlfriend and you're just complaining about what's happening. And then when you feel better, you're able to say things that are more empowering. Because, right now, you kind of have to think like a garden. You have to do the weeding first before you plant. And if you go straight to the positive, there's something in your mind that says, you're a liar, this is true. But when you're able to own how you feel, relax, it creates that space where you can then begin to tap while focusing on how you rather feel instead. Because, again, all you're doing is sending that calming signal to the brain. So if you have a disempowering thought with a calming signal, that thought doesn't feel true, right?
Yeah.
If you have a positive thought with a calming signal, it's congruent. So it also helps really, it helps you really be able to feel into that new thought. Again, tappingsolution.com for more info.
I love this. I just feel really relaxed. I just kind of want to sit here and feel relaxed now.
One round. And I can't tell you how many women have told me, I work primarily with women who say, I had a panic and I just went into the bathroom stall at work and I just did a few rounds and it changed everything. And it only takes a few minutes.
So in your book, obviously you talk about this. Do you share lots of different exercises and different exercises that people can try within your book?
Yeah, I have a ton of tapping scripts. And, I know that the people that follow you, everyone is very passionate about having a successful business and being an entrepreneur. And even though, I'll show you my book because it's really pretty, The Tap for Weight Loss and Body Confidence, even though the title says weight loss and body confidence. I got to tell you, this book is about shining and stepping into your power. And a lot of times, especially as women entrepreneurs, we think that we need to look a certain way and we need to lose some weight, or we have all of this pressure and we have this panic and this really critical voice. And that critical voice stops us from shining, from getting what we want, and also from having the body that we want. Because when we are panicked, what do? We turn to food. Mm-hmm. Panic, also our body begins to have an overproduction of a hormone called cortisol, which is directly linked to belly fat. So here we are stressing about how we look in that outfit, at that meeting, and that very stress is creating an internal environment which makes it very difficult to lose weight. So I found, for me personally, that my struggle and my huge fluctuations with weight and all my crazy diets in the past were all leading me, my body was trying to get my attention to say, listen, there's something to clear here. You need to do the inner work. And when I did the inner work, I had the outer results. And so, yes, it says weight loss and body confidence, but this really is about stepping into your power and living the life that you want.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's brilliant. Everyone should definitely go and check that out. You can get it on, can you get it on your website that you've already said?
On the website as well. Yeah, you get it on my website. There's a lot of great bonuses that you can get with the book as well.
Perfect. Well, I will leave all of the links for those over on the website. But Jessica, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Even though it is a little strange, I am willing to try anything that if I think it's going to help.
7-day challenge. Can I give you a tip for top 7 days?
Yes.
So this is what I do every night. I visualize myself doing something. So again, as entrepreneurs, we have all these goals. So I want you to visualize your goal and notice in your body if there's any discomfort, if there's maybe pressure in your chest or your stomach. Part of you wants it, but part of you doesn't want all the attention. A lot of times when it comes to goals, it's not black and white. We have mixed emotions. Notice how you feel, and then begin to tap while focusing on the image until you can think about having that goal and stepping into your power, and you can feel calm in your body. So it could be something like, even though I'm nervous about asking for what I want, I accept myself, and then give a voice to just why you're nervous for asking for what you want, and continue tapping until you can visualize and feel calm in your body. And then it's so much easier to take action.
I absolutely love that. Thank you so, so much. But I would also love to hear what you think about this. Have you tried EFT before? If so, what do you think of it? If not, please leave a comment and share your thoughts with us. And also, once you do the 7-day challenge, come back over to the blog and leave a comment and let us know the results that you had and how you got on. But thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you next week for another dose of inspiration.